What's up, nerd family? Welcome once again to the Poindexter Lounge. My name is Enosh, aka Enosh Fett, along with the lovely
Tifftastic.
That's right. And guess what? It's cold outside where we are. It is freezing cold.
It's -3 with the wind chill.
Oh my goodness, it's cold. But you didn't tune in to hear about that. No, today we are talking about a news story that came out, and it's kind of old news, but it's kind of been reiterated now. And that is the fact that there's talk now that DC is going to focus on just doing solo movies with their characters instead of really branching out and like they have, talking about it as a combined universe, kind of like the Marvel cinematic universe where all the characters are there and they're all kind of intertwined and everything. And so we wanted to talk about that today because we're big DC fans and we've got some opinions on that topic. Yes. And so Tiff, do you like seeing, I mean, we've had this combination since Batman versus Superman. Mm-hmm. They expanded the DCEU by showing us that Batman exists in this world, Wonder Woman exists in this world, and then they took that one step, well, many steps further with Justice League, showing us that obviously Aquaman, which now has his own movie, and then the Flash and Cyborg, and then we got glimpses even of Green Lantern in that movie, a Green Lantern that they do exist within this universe, and so it really opened up things and expanded it for the entire universe. Now, with the success of Aquaman, which is awesome, right? And with the success of Wonder Woman, they're talking about kind of reining that in, and a lot of people talked about how they should have done what Marvel did to begin with, and that is make these solo movies, build up, and then go ahead and put them together. But they didn't. Yep. They tried to start off with Justice League right off the bat, with a Batman versus Superman being the second movie. But what do you think about all that? I mean, do you like having all those characters, or do you think that this is a smart idea?
I'm kind of 50-50 about it because I've liked the movies that they put out so far. I like their introduction to Batman, Superman, Justice League, which opens it up for solo movies. And I think going forward they need to pick and choose who they choose their solo movies to be. Like, if you choose this person, make sure you have the correct bad guys. If you have this one, make sure that they can branch off and expound on that if they're going to choose that as the direction. Yeah, that's at least how I feel. Yeah, I
think that they have to be careful, and so this came from an interview given by Toby Emmerich. He was asked. He was on a red carpet. He was getting ready to walk in someplace, and so they asked him about the DCEU because this guy's had a really great year. I mean, they've the things underneath his tutelage have done really, really well this year, and including Aquaman, and then they kind of count Wonder Woman into that a little bit from last year, and but not just DC wise, but like all of his movies and things that he's done have done really well. But so they talked to him about this, kind of asking what's next, because that's where we're at right now with DC. I mean, we just had a $1 billion movie that's still going strong, and who knows where it's going to end up. By the time that its theatrical run is done, but it's over $1 billion now. So where do you go from here with that movie? Or with that movie? I don't think so. I think that you can only go down because the next movie to come out is Shazam. Shazam's probably not going to make $1 billion. I'd love it to,
but I think it's still gonna. If Aquaman did so well, why wouldn't Shazam?
Oh, well, I mean, it's different characters. Different characters, different things. But I mean, if it's done well, it could be a sleeper hit. The dog has an opinion about this, apparently. If it's done well, I mean, who knows, right? I mean, who expected Aquaman to do $1 billion? But
Jason Momoa.
Yeah, but Jason Momoa, exactly, right? So now Shazam looks like a real good feel-good movie, right? And we got a new trailer coming out on Tuesday, which we'll be covering and doing a reaction for. So who knows what the future holds, right? But so Toby Emmerich talked a little bit about this and said, we all feel we've turned a corner now, meaning with Aquaman. We're playing by the DC playbook, which is very different from the Marvel playbook. We are far less focused on a shared universe We take it one movie at a time. Each movie is its own equation and its own creative entity. If you had to say one thing about us, it's that it always has to be about the directors. That sounds like a load of crap to me, to be quite honest with you, because it has not been about the directors. They have not allowed their directors to realize their visions.
Yeah.
It's been almost as bad as Star Wars, where, you know, like with Star Wars, that's the exact same thing that happened. It's like, hey, directors, here's a movie. Go ahead and direct this movie. Oh, wait, we're going to pull the reins back on this, and we're not going to let you finish this movie, or we're going to fire you from this movie and hire somebody else to come in and finish your movie, or we're going to leave you on the movie, but we're going to bring in a whole other crew in to finish your movie for you.
Doesn't always turn out well.
No, and that's exactly what they've done with DC. I mean, it's like Zack Snyder. People don't know what they want, first of all, with Zack Snyder, because there's all this, you know, now right now we're in the middle of all this stuff. You know, we want the Snyder cut. We want the Snyder cut of Justice League. It would have been so much better if Snyder had been able to finish it. And I respect that. And hey, do I want to see the Snyder cut if it exists? Absolutely. So don't get me wrong when I say this. But the reality is, everybody yelling about the Snyder cut, where were you all when people were tearing Snyder apart, saying that Batman versus Superman was awful, that Man of Steel was awful, and that Justice League was going to be just as bad, and then tearing him down to the point where Warner Brothers lost all faith in him as a director and did not allow him to finish his movie, and used the fact, and this is pretty much the feeling right now, is that they used the fact that he lost his daughter. His daughter committed suicide, and they kind of used that fact to be able to get rid of him.
To say you needed time with your family, you needed time to heal.
And so
was probably true, but I think it was also an out for them.
Yeah, and so, you know, so they bring in Joss Whedon, and everybody thinks that that's going to solve it. Instead, the parts of Justice League that are a mess are the ones that don't jive well, because they're two different directors trying to do two different visions. So to say it's always about the director for our movies. Look, I love DC. You all know this, all right? You all know that I will fight on that hill until the end of the day, and then keep fighting until morning's light. But that's some bull crap. That right there is not a true statement, because it has not been about the directors. They did not stand behind Zack Snyder. And now everybody, because Justice League turned out the way it did, everybody's like, oh, Zack Snyder, we want the Snyder cut. He had a plan and a goal and a vision. Well, where were you guys? Right? That's all I want to know. If you guys were there, great. But if you're one of these people who tore him down, then you want to come back with it, I'm sorry. I don't respect that, because
too wishy-washy.
Yeah, it is. It is wishy-washy. To me, look, I tell you right up front, you don't have to agree with me. That's the great part about the Poindexter Lounge, right, Tiff?
Yes.
What is it?
It's a place for nerds.
That's right.
All kinds of nerds.
That's right. Somebody just I was talking to one of our viewers in the comment section just yesterday, and they mentioned the fact that they couldn't agree with me about The Last Jedi, but that they respected the fact that I respect their views. And I do. I respect everybody's views.
We also got a conversation today when we were out and about. We have no kids today, so we were kind of enjoying going to the store, not having the kids saying, I want, I need, except for us saying we want, we need.
Bought a new lightsaber.
Yeah. And so, but we also got a portal gun from Rick and Morty. I got one of my favorite t-shirts that I wore in one of the other videos that was the Oregon Trail. I have died of dysentery. So I was very excited about that. Yeah. But we were sitting there at one of the stores, and it was Five Below, and we ended up talking about, she saw what we had bought, and she said, well, what did you think about Justice League because of the figure that
Suicide Squad.
Or Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
And so we got in this big discussion. By the time we were done, she was taking down our channel because now she wants to, even though she didn't agree with us on everything and we didn't agree with her, she liked the fact that we could talk it out even though it was in a store in 5 minutes. So she's going to be following this channel. So if you're on there, awesome, thank you, welcome aboard.
Absolutely. But, you know, so that's the thing. It's like, I will tell you up front, I love Man of Steel. Yes. I think it's one of the best superhero movies ever. I love Batman versus Superman. I think it's a smart movie, and I think it's smarter than people want to give it credit for. And I think that a lot of people didn't actually sit and watch it and pay attention to it because they wanted it to be something else. Yes, I like Suicide Squad. Yes, I like Justice League. Are they all perfect movies? No, they're not. But they're good movies. And you know,
tasty little
here's the
tidbits
thing.
in the midst
Here's
of
the thing.
everything else.
These movies have made more than Marvel's first 6 movies. Okay, so somebody's watching them, and I know that it's super cool
Even
to
if
be able to
secretly,
go.
you're still watching.
I know it's super cool to be able to say, "Oh, DC sucks," but somebody's watching them, and Aquaman just made $1 billion. All right, so there you go. But for him to come out and say that it's all about the directors, it's not all about the directors. I'm hoping that we're seeing I'm hoping that this statement is true for now.
Yes.
That James Wan pretty much had control of his movie and was able to make the Aquaman movie that he wanted to make. So that's good. Patty Jenkins was able to make the Wonder Woman movie that she wanted to make, and look how that turned out.
And hopefully it's going to continue on into the number.
Exactly. And so if they allow them to do that, and they're saying from now on, then that's great. But here's the thing, I like this. And that's one of the things I like about you watch the Shazam trailer, and you know that it exists in that universe, right? I'm not saying every movie that, like, you know, every Batman movie, Superman's got to pop up and, you know, and do something, or, you know, like Aquaman movie comes out and, you know, Batman shows up, but I would love to see Wonder Woman in an Aquaman movie. I'm just saying the Atlanteans and the Themyscirans.
Heck yeah.
That movie needs to.
Mira and Wonder Woman.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I mean, if you've all seen the Justice League movie, well, it's actually a Flash, but the Flashpoint Paradox movie, the cartoon,
that was really well done.
The animated one, you know that in that Aquaman has a relationship with Wonder Woman, and Mira finds out. And and Wonder Woman ends up cutting Mira's head off, and that starts a huge war between the Themyscirans and the Atlanteans. And so there's all kinds of rich things there that you can explore, and you need to. I want to leave it open, but I agree with doing this, with stepping back a little bit, with doing solo movies. And building back up.
Just choose the right
ones.
Because
Because obviously they've taken a lot of flack, and I think that's the thing, they've gotten really beat up over the way that they've done things to begin with.
But they keep going and they keep knocking them out of the park. So.
Now it's gotten better and better and better, and I think the next 2 that have come out that we know about look like they're going to be really really good. And so I think if you can build on that, build with some of these smaller characters, sure. So Aquaman, Shazam, you throw Wonder Woman in there. It was recently announced, well, not announced, but there's rumors now that Ben Affleck is still on board as Batman now, that he is agreed to a deal, and that the new Matt Reeves Batman will actually feature him feature a younger person as Batman. So they are going to recast Batman, is the rumor right now, but that Ben Affleck will be involved. So almost kind of like a flashback to when he was younger, and that he's still on to do more movies. So I would love to see that, and I think that that's a great plan and idea, and build back up the right way to a Justice League 2, and then of course do a Man of Steel 2 before that, please. All right, so that's what I think of that. They've been talking about this for a while, that they were going to move towards more kind of solo movies. I did hear. 3 Buck Theater said something, if you guys watch his channel, and it made me think that, because he mentioned that his thoughts were that DC actually wanted Aquaman to fail, so that they could kind of go back and kind of reboot things, kind of restructure things, and then have the ability to say, well, see, that didn't work, so now we're going to move on to this. Then you get a $1 billion movie. Yeah. You kind of gotta.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you gotta figure that one out, right? And
something's working.
Something's working there, so you don't want to let that go as a studio. You don't want to just walk away from that. So you want to do it. But see, that's the thing, is like, so that's like, even for this video, like I got a Superman shirt underneath here, but I wore my Flash hoodie still because, one, it's cold. As I mentioned before.
I'm freezing right now.
But also, Tiff had her Superman on, so see.
I actually have a cape with me.
Yeah, she does. And so I wanted to show, see, like, the Flash and Superman can be together, right? They can do things
work together.
That's right, you know. It doesn't just have to be just one character. I like even if you just reference things. I mean, Aquaman did not rely heavily on being super tied to the rest of the universe, but just
they mentioned Justice League and what happened in there.
Yes.
They had Black Manta. They had, you know, all
There's
these
a
little
Wonder
things.
Woman reference in there.
Yep. But they didn't have to be
all great
heavy
things.
on all the other
Exactly,
ones.
but just enough so that we know, oh yeah, those things did happen. And so I think that's good. All right, but what do you guys think? Leave us your comment down in the comment section. Let us know what you guys think of this, of whether or not it should be a shared universe or whether or not they should just strictly go to solo films going forward and just not even worry about the bigger universe at hand. All right, let us know down in the comment section. Also, find us on all of our social media. All of that is down in the description, and we would love to hear from you. And if you do that, look, remember, it's January. We're almost done. January is almost done. February 1st, we will be picking a winner for our January giveaway. That's right. Is this Grandtifftarkin action figure. Look at that face right there. Doesn't she look familiar? Wonder where she could have come from. That's right. It's a Grandtifftarkin action figure. I got the light in there. Check that out. Grandtifftarkin action figure. Got to block Tiffany out to see it. All right. There you go. You can have
for another tip.
That's right. You can have one of these. She's got her own bio on the back. You can read what all that is. It's a cool figure, and there's only going to be 3 of these. She gets one, I get one, and you could have one too. All you got to do is subscribe to the channel, hit notifications, like this video. Also, leave a comment down here, and if you want an extra special chance, extra special consideration, go to one of our social medias, whether it be Instagram, and yes, the Poindexter Lounge now has
Southern accent.
I know, sometimes. No. So, hey, look, we've now got our own Poindexter Lounge Instagram account. That's right. So we're on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, and you can go ahead and find us on there. Leave a comment down there for extra special consideration in the giveaway. All right, guys? Well, let us know what you think. Until next time, all I got to say is this. In this house, we try to make it a shared universe. All right, and we're glad to share that universe with each and every one of you. Thank you guys so much for being a part of the Poindexter Lounge with us. Until next time, my name is Enosh, a.k.a. Enosh Fett, along with the lovely
Tifftastic.
All right, and we'll see you. Bye-bye.